Please be seated. Commencement is a time to celebrate our graduates and their accomplishments. We will have several speakers today on our stage. To honor the spirit and the significance of this great occasion, interruption of the speakers and audience disruptions are not permitted and they will not be tolerated. At many gatherings at Stanford University, we take a moment to acknowledge the history and the significance of the land on which the university sits and the responsibility of stewardship across generations. I invite McKenna Ann Coheney, a member of the JD class of 2025, to present the land acknowledgement.
Good afternoon. Stanford sits on the ancestral land of the Muwekma Ohlone tribe. This land was and continues to be of great importance to the Ohlone people. Consistent with our values of community and inclusion, we have a responsibility to acknowledge, honor, and make visible the university's relationship to Native peoples. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is George Triantis, and as Dean of the Law School, I have the honor of officially welcoming you to Stanford Law's graduation ceremony for the class of 2025. I extend a special warm welcome to the family and friends of our graduates. Your love, encouragement, and support have been key to bringing them to this moment, and we celebrate you at the same time as we celebrate the class of 2025. We applaud and we thank you, family and friends, both who are here and all those who have supported our graduating students. Class of 2025, when you were admitted to Stanford Law, we promised you the very best in legal education, and we hope we delivered. You have been taught by a superb and dedicated faculty, professors who love teaching and preparing you for lifelong learning and careers of meaning and impact. As you know, teaching comes in many forms, and your teachers have engaged with you in the classrooms, in office hours, over drafts of papers, briefs, or court appearances, policy reports, and presentations. They have guided you on field study trips, including to other continents. They have listened and counseled you about your career goals, supporting you in your clerkship applications and with other job recommendations. And with you, they have tried to unpack and inform the legal challenges that arise each week in our nation. I know that our professors, lecturers, instructors take great pride and joy in your accomplishments and your graduation this weekend, just as I know how much you appreciate them. Stanford Law School's ability to excel at our missions of discovery and learning also depend critically on our dedicated staff who work each day to create the environment in which we can each thrive. They are instrumental in getting us to today, the moment that you launch your careers. We recognize with deep gratitude their work and support. And finally, I salute you, graduates, for your discipline and hard work that got you to this weekend at commencement. And in the same measure, I thank you for all that you have contributed to the law school. Students are the lifeblood of this institution. You came to the law school from very different backgrounds and experiences, and you enriched our community. Class of 2025, our community is noticeably stronger than when you arrived, and you embark now on different paths, having built wonderful friendships, mutual respect, lasting bonds, and the shared experience of Stanford Law School. But this weekend, we celebrate your achievements on this joyous occasion, starting with remarks from your classmates.
It's a bit tall. Dean Triantis, esteemed Board of Trustees, faculty and staff, family and friends, JDs, and my beloved advanced degree class of 2025. My name is Yan San Leong, and I'm from Malaysia. A year ago, I would have never imagined myself standing here. Somehow, I tricked my AD class with the candidate statement, and here I am. I am truly honored to be here today to share our collective experience. To prepare for this, I did some due diligence work like any corporate lawyer would do. I combed through our group chats and photos, picked your brains through conversations and gossips, and verified with staff members. I may have spent more time on this than my corporate governance assignments. This AD class represents 30 countries across all continents, A to Z from Afghanistan to Venezuela. It's incredible to think that we all willingly left our sanity to return to school, only to bond over expensive groceries and job insecurity. We owe this unique experience to people who have loved and lifted us up along the way, and we would like to take this opportunity to express our utmost gratitude. My due diligence proves that this class is destined for greatness. We entered Stanford as legal scholars, horseback riding model, national drumming champion, nonprofit warriors, environmental lawyers, corporate defenders, public prosecutors, and judges. You're amazing. We're now living as one unit of friends. At Stanford, we learn more than just the law. We had the privilege to delve into each other's cultures, food, and go to karaoke songs. We discovered the true meaning of the work hard, play harder motto of the Latin Americans, the art of sharing food of the Southeast Asians, spiciness of the Indians. Pineapple pizza is acceptable to some Italians. Family values of the Koreans, courtesy of the Japanese, diligence of the Chinese, gentleness of the Canadians and Australians, the dark humor of the Germans, punctuality of the Swedes, and Stella Artois is the best beer of Belgium, but only in the US. We arrive with our judgments and biases, and while they may not have disappeared, we could now hold them with a deeper sense of understanding. Diversity isn't just about nationality or appearance, it's about the perspectives we bring, the stories we share, and the way we choose to listen. We are graduating in an unprecedented time. The past months have been a roller coaster of world events. Our hearts go out to all international students who have faced not only the usual academic pressure, but also visa uncertainty and travel restrictions. Regardless, we made it through graduation together. We may have come to Stanford to widen our options, but in this world of liquid modernity, what truly matters is perhaps to commit to a cause, a community, a belief, and most importantly, ourselves. My dear, we just have to believe in the process and work on it. A friend once told me every departure feels like a partial death, but it is not this day. This day is not an end. Instead, it will be a source of strength and of memories that will make us smile. If you ever feel lost, just remember, somewhere in the world, a classmate, a friend, a Rafiki believes in you. A text, a call, a meme, a free tour guide, and free Airbnb. Our community is here. I hope what happens at Stanford does not stay at Stanford. Except, you know which part to leave them out. But no matter where we go, let's carry these stories, keep our conscience clear, be curious, and most importantly, never, never hesitate to be kind and love unconditionally. Congratulations, 80 class of 2025. Thank you. Terima kasih.
Thank you so much for that beautiful speech. Hello, my name is Carson Smith, and I'm a graduating 3L. As many of you know, when I was preparing these remarks for today, I found it particularly difficult and maybe a little insincere to write something that was just about my life, from my perspective. I wanted to at least try to generate something that was more representative of the voices of our class. So thanks to the help of many of you here today, the thoughts I share today are my attempt at weaving together the collective hopes, dreams, and memories of the class of 2025. There's no doubt that law school was hard, and not just exam season, caffeine-fueled, reading hundreds of pages a week for Fed courts hard, but life hard. For many of us, law school ran parallel to some of the most difficult moments of our lives. Some of our classmates came here from countries in the midst of war. Others of us quietly carried the weight of physical and mental health challenges, navigated complex immigration systems, balanced financial stress, served as primary caretakers, or even welcomed children into our families, all while trying to navigate the thousands of hearsay exceptions or the nuances of the rule against perpetuities, which very luckily Professor Ablovsky did not put on Section 1 and 2's exam. Thank you. And yet, despite the weight of those joint academic and personal challenges we each carried, the obstacles we faced, and the moments we'd wondered if we'd make it through it all, we are here. Not because the journey was easy, but because the people here today showed up for one another. We listened and leaned in, we reached out, and we pulled each other through. One day, one conversation, one quiet act of care at a time. When asked to share a meaningful memory from her time at law school, our peer Gabby Romero said, "I'll remember rounding the corner of my first half marathon and hearing my friends scream my name like I was an Olympic athlete. That memory is, I think, an apt metaphor for Stanford Law School in general. We uplifted each other and we kept each other moving." Not all of us made it to Olympic athlete status while at law school, although the number of half marathoners here has strangely and drastically increased in the last 8 months, which I'm forced to see on your Instagram and Strava posts. But each of us here is here because of peers who, as Gabby said, kept us moving. It could have been that time a friend made us dinner during one of the hardest weeks of school, or grabbed us a coffee to get us across that finish line right before submitting the big brief. Maybe it was the roommate who regularly picked us up from the airport to spare us that $120 Uber fee. Thank you, Jarrett. Or traveling across the state or country to celebrate a peer's wedding or engagement, trekking across the globe to explore France, Brazil, Austria, Mexico, and Vietnam together, staying up late, having conversations that turned into deep moments of vulnerability and care. Through the past 3 years, we dedicated ourselves to supporting each other through this degree, and we didn't do it alone. Families, mentors, staff, service workers, and professors all helped carry us to this grand finale. As our classmate David Jing put it so beautifully, we are all the products of the various villages that have raised us. The people I want to honor as we walk across the stage are the hundreds of unsung heroes who brought us to this point in our lives. So today is not just a celebration of what we've accomplished individually, but what we've endured and achieved together. Despite all of those difficulties, during that time, we've created something beautiful and learned more about ourselves and what is at our core. Looking back, as many of you shared with me, we are more resilient than we realized. We rose to the occasion again and again. We found ways to connect across difference, ideologies, languages, and life experiences. We discovered community in unexpected places. As we leave Stanford this week, we enter a world that is full of challenges. Regardless of your ideology and background, I don't think any of us believe that this world is getting easier to navigate. We live in a rapidly changing time where the future of the legal field, our country, and the planet itself is constantly being renegotiated. All of that's in front of us, and I haven't even reached 25% of my bar course yet. Doing what I can. But just as we did in law school, I think regardless of what stands before us today, we will pull each other through it. Just as law school challenged us, forced us to grow, and left us with something extraordinary to look back on, in 10, 20, 25 years from now, I think we will see a beautiful collection of memories and a legacy that we've left in our wake. A legacy that continues the work of our parents and grandparents, whether they were blue-collar workers, lawyers, teachers, soldiers, doctors, writers, or something else, whose lives helped shift and shape the course of our own. A legacy that breaks the mold, that devotes itself to justice even when it's inconvenient, that commits to making the world a little bit better, even when we may not live to see the rewards. A legacy that's rooted in kindness, in curiosity, in empathy, and in mercy. Hand in hand, that is a legacy I believe we will create together. It will be exciting, exhausting, frustrating, and rewarding. And when we look back, it will all have been worth it. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2025. We did it.
So hello everyone. So I'm Jade.
Hi, I'm Jarrett.
So today we're gonna do something very special. So we're moving on to the award section. So it's our honor to present the following awards to recipients selected by the graduating class. So first up, so the Staff Appreciation Award is given to the staff person, administrator, or faculty member who has played an integral role in the lives of the graduating students. So the graduating students have recognized Helen Gettinger for her contributions. So Helen is the Assistant Director of Community Activities and has been the heartbeat of student life and social engagement. With grace, warmth, and unwavering dedication, Helen has curated a vibrant community experience that transcends the demands of legal education, from coordinating thoughtful, tailored events to ensuring the smallest details, be it our sushi spreads or Shake Shack afternoons, are and we're all taken care of. So over to you, Helen.
Just want to say that I'm very honored for the award, but more than that, I'm just very thankful to know all of you and wish you the best.
The Dean's Award for Excellence in Service recognizes a graduating student who has made a distinctive and exceptional contribution to legal education or the quality of student life at Stanford Law School. Award recipients are chosen collectively by their peers and the law school faculty and staff for active and sustained efforts that both enrich the law school community and reflect the principles and standards of excellence at Stanford Law School. The 2025 Dean's Award recipient is Amanpreet Singh. Amanpreet has been a champion both of building community and of using the law to advance justice since they arrived at Stanford. Their advocacy work in law school has reached a number of different issues, including involvement in an extensive list of student organizations and multiple pro bono projects. In addition to commitments at the law school, Amanpreet has also been involved in advocacy for the greater graduate student community. Beyond their many formal roles, however, is where Amanpreet truly stands out. As a community member, they have been a consistent leader for our class. They recognize and build up the contributions of others while always volunteering themselves when there is a need. The joy with which they approach their work and engage with the Stanford community is something we all aspire to emulate in our lives and careers. And it is my honor to present this award to my classmate and friend.
So nice when your friends say such nice things about you to an audience of what must be hundreds of people. But in truth, there are so many awesome people in the class of 2025, so being awarded this is such a huge honor because there are many people who made a meaningful contribution here. And if you'll just give me the grace to thank 4 groups of people, I'd really appreciate it. First, everyone in the SLS ecosystem, my fellow students for always waving to me in Crocker and for saying intelligent things in class, my professors for teaching me the law, my clinical supervisors for making me believe I could be a lawyer, and of course all the staff who will work to make sure that Stanford exists outside the classroom, facilities, AV, the registrar, OSA, Levin, the janitors, librarians. There's so many people here, and that work does not go unappreciated. And I think it takes a lot to make a place feel like a community, and each of us have an equal part in doing that, so thank you all. Secondly, my friends especially, like Carson said, people keep you afloat, but I have been so lucky to meet just thoughtful, smart, and kind people at SLS, and I am forever grateful that I get to leave with those connections too. Third, to my many organizations and pro bonos, thank you for giving me a reason and reminding me why I'm in law school in the first place, and for giving me moral clarity during some sort of, campus and global crises. And lastly, to my family, hi, Mom and Munch. Firstly, to my grandfather, who showed me the humor and joy in life, to my sister, who taught me the value of forging your own path, and Mom, what don't I have you to thank for? Thank you for your strength, your courage, your generosity, your sacrifice. I would not be here at Stanford, and I would not be graduating law school if not for you. So thank you for everything. Thank you guys so much, and congratulations.
So the moment we've all been waiting for. So the John Bingham Holbert Award for Excellence in Teaching is given to a professor who strives to make teaching an art The graduating class has awarded the Halbert Award to Professor Pam Cullen. So Professor Cullen is co-director of the Supreme Court Litigation Clinic and teaches the 4th Amendment. So 14th Amendment. One of the nation's leading experts on voting and the political process. She has served as a commissioner of the California Fair Political Practices Commission, an assistant counsel and cooperating attorney for the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, and twice as a deputy assistant attorney general in the Civil Rights Division of the U.S. Department of Justice, where she received the Attorney General's Award for Exceptional Service, the department's highest award for employee performance, as part of the team responsible for implementing the Supreme Court's decision in United States versus Windsor. So Professor Cullen is also the co-author of leading case books on constitutional law, so 14th Amendment, so constitutional litigation, and the law of democracy, as well as numerous scholarly articles. She is co-reporter of the American Law Institute's forthcoming Restatement of Constitutional Thoughts, and before joining the Stanford Law School faculty in 1998, she was a professor of law at the University of Virginia School of Law and served as a law clerk to Justice Harry A. Bachman of the U.S. Supreme Court and Justice Abraham D. Sofa of the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York.
I was lucky enough to have Professor Carlin as my professor for criminal law during my 1L year. From my experience in her classroom and from the experience of so many of my classmates, I can confidently say that she is the embodiment of one who strives to make teaching an art. I can't say that I expected criminal law to be my favorite, but with Professor Carlin's teaching, it would be impossible not to be engaged and excited about her class. Her extensive real-world experience as an attorney and a litigator makes her incredibly knowledgeable and also provides examples that she brings into the classroom to ground the doctrine for students. Paired with her sharp sense of humor, it is clear why her classes stand out. In her closing remarks to my criminal law class, Professor Carlin told us to remember that our life is more than our resume. Professor Carlin's resume is certainly exceptional, but she is up here today because our class recognized her as more than a great lawyer or scholar. She brings the same passion to teaching each of us as she does to her work as an expert and an advocate, and each of her students will be better lawyers because of it. It is our honor to present the Hurlbut Award to Professor Pam Carlin.
Members of the graduating class, spouses and partners of the graduates, ancestors and descendants of the graduates, siblings and nibblings of the graduates, others who are rationally related to the graduates, outgoing people, reserved people, people in the reserves, other veterans, people who did the MRF, and people who associate burpees with carbonated drinkies, people who are LGBTQIA, people who are KJD, people who are F1 or J1, people who are O negative or AB positive, people who've been living in Munger, people who are going to Munger, people, if there are any of you, who will miss the sea shanty in Crocker Garden, people still holding a spoon just in case, people who love music, who love the piano, and me, I love viola. Welcome to Stanford Law School's graduation. In the words of America's greatest legal philosopher, Yogi Berra, I want to thank you all for making this day necessary. Thank you to the folks who voted for me. But thank you also to the folks who voted for my colleagues. They're an extraordinary group of teachers, scholars, and mentors. Thanks to Isha and to Jeff and to Bob, because teaching with them has taught me so much over the years about how to teach. And when I gave the graduation speech here in 2002, I thanked 3 people who were then graduating 3Ls, but who are now my colleagues. So thanks again to David and to Nora and to Matt, our newest colleague on the faculty, for starting out as the kind of student that teachers love and becoming the kind of teachers that students love. Thanks also to my class, criminal law class from the winter of 2023, especially for your patience and enthusiasm as we tackled the materials, all of us for the first time. Thanks to Jordan and Amanpreet, who inspired me to develop a rap that rhymed applied, homicide, and people who up and died, on the way to describing a story that was quite a bit darker, involving the cabin boy, Richard Parker. Lesson for all of you, it's always the cabin boy who gets eaten after the shipwreck. Thanks also to those of you who took 14th Amendment, which you did all 3 years that you were here. Not the same person, different people. Because the spring of 2023 was also my first time teaching that course. So how about strict scrutiny, the Capitol mutiny, college admissions, marriage traditions, gerrymandering map makers, New York bakers, the burger and the buns, Section 1, from John Marshall Harlan to Pamela S. Carlin, from Yickwo to Plyler. Hey, I'm a freestyler. Thanks also to Elliot and to Caroline for teaching alongside me in the Citizenship and 14th Amendment courses. To riff off a phrase from the great Charles Black, in them the curves of kindness and competence intersect at their respective maxima. Thanks to Nikta and her mother for a wonderful Nowruz celebration that reminded us of the rich diversity of our community. And when it comes to ideological diversity, thanks to Spencer and Charlie for being such cheerful conservatives. Thanks to Abehi, who worked with an immigrant mother so the child could return to school for the first time in 3 years. Thanks to Leo for a great paper resuscitating the neglected Section 1988. Thanks to Sam and Sophia for securing a grant of asylum and a path to lawful permanent residency for a Venezuelan mother and her 2 children. Thanks to Angela, Chloe, and Tommy for laying bare the weakness in my arguments during workshops. Thanks to Jacqueline and Becky for their work to examine the intimate partner violence that feeds the prison pipeline. Thanks to Vance and Paige and Jonathan and Molly for jumping in on a heap of cert replies, an art form right up there with haiku. Thanks to Imani who enabled a father to gain approval for Social Security disability benefits and to get him 2 years of back benefits so he could contribute to his family's support. There are so many more of you I want to thank at the reception when I get to meet your parents and marvel again at Mendelian genetics. But I hope this brief list gives our guests here today a sense of the range of great work done by the class of 2025. So finally, thanks to Sophia for teaching me a new word, syzygy, that describes what I want to talk about with you today. A syzygy is the straight-line configuration of 3 celestial bodies, such as the sun, the moon, and the earth during an eclipse. Today, June 14th, 2025, is a unique syzygy. It marks Flag Day, your commencement, and the birth of Donald Trump. And they're aligned in an interesting and important way. One of the most famous and beautifully written opinions in the US reports was actually decided on Flag Day 1943. The Barnett sisters were expelled from Slip Hill Elementary School because as Jehovah's Witnesses, they refused to salute the flag. The Supreme Court struck down that compulsory flag salute law. Justice Robert Jackson's opinion for the court contains words that bear on our current situation. Freedom to differ, he wrote, is not limited to things that do not matter much. That would be a mere shadow of freedom. The test of its substance is the right to differ as to things that touch the heart of the existing order. If there is any fixed star in our constitutional constellation, it is that no official, high or petty, and I would add no official both high and petty, can prescribe what shall be orthodox in politics, nationalism, religion, or other matters of opinion, or force citizens to confess by word or act their faith therein. If there are any circumstances which permit an exception, they do not now occur to us. And I would say 82 years on, they don't occur to me either. Perhaps the most famous performance of pledging allegiance to the flag occurred less than a year later. On May 21st, 1944, Judge Learned Hand, what a name, destined for greatness, spoke at a naturalization ceremony in New York City for 150,000 immigrants. Before the new citizens said the Pledge of Allegiance, he spoke to them about what he called the spirit of liberty. What then is the spirit of liberty, he asked, and this was his answer. I cannot define it. I can only tell you my own faith. The spirit of liberty is the spirit which is not too sure that it is right. The spirit of liberty is the spirit which seeks to understand the mind of other men and women. The spirit of liberty is the spirit which weighs their interests alongside its own without bias. The spirit of liberty remembers that not even a sparrow falls to earth unheeded. The spirit of liberty is the spirit of him who near 2,000 years ago taught mankind that lesson it has never learned but never quite forgotten, that there may be a kingdom where the least shall be heard and considered side by side with the greatest. For the most part, I agree with Judge Hand. He and I have different faiths. You knew that already. But each of those faiths, and I would hope the faiths, whether religious or secular, of each of us under this tent today, believes that the least should be heard and considered side by side with the greatest. But although I am generally not too sure that I am right, I am sure of this. It's wrong to define habeas corpus as a constitutional right that the president has to be able to remove people from this country. It's wrong to demonize people who are different. It's wrong to celebrate cruelty. It's wrong to assassinate State Representative Martha Hortford. It's wrong to shout down federal judges on campus, and equally wrong to call for judges' impeachment when they hold the government to action. Judge Hand urged his listeners to pledge allegiance, in his words, in the spirit of an America which has never been, and which may never be, nay, which never will be, except as the conscience and courage of Americans create it. Now about that flag and conscience and courage. During your time here at Stanford, many of you have spent hours with 18 U.S. Code, the title that deals with criminal law, or with 52 U.S. Code, the title that deals with voting rights and campaign finance, or with 5 U.S. Code and the Administrative Procedure Act, or if you are an Ann O'Connell group, and who among us isn't, the Vacancies Act. But I'd wager that less than a handful of you has ever looked at 4 U.S. Code. That's the title devoted, among other things, to the flag. And here's the first sentence of 4 U.S. Code, Section 8. No disrespect should be shown to the flag of the United States of America. The flag should not be dipped to any person or thing. That directive, that the flag should not be dipped, has famously been followed by every U.S. flag bearer at the Olympics since the time of gymnast Alfred Joachim, a German-American immigrant to the United States who refused to dip the flag to Adolf Hitler at the 1936 Berlin Games, and has been carried all the way forward to tomorrow's speaker at the university commencement, Katie Ledecky, who bore the flag at the 2024 Paris Games. And you'll remember that in the Pledge of Allegiance, we pledge allegiance not just to the flag, but also to the republic for which it stands. As John Adams wrote in his Thoughts on Government in 1776, the very definition of a republic is an empire of laws and not of men. Lawyers are critical to a republic. And just as athletes don't dip the flag, lawyers do not bend the knee. Lawyers stand up. The law firms of Wilmer Hale, Jenner and Block, Sussman Godfrey, whose managing partner is SLS alum Kalpana Srinivasan, and Perkins Coie are standing up to resist executive orders that attack them for their work standing up for clients. The law firms of Cooley, Clement and Murphy, Munger Tolles, and Williams and Connolly are standing up to represent those firms. So a shout out to the SLS alumni on the teams litigating those cases. Mike Attanasio, John Bostock, Will Orr, Kyle Schneider, Juliana Lee, Esthina Barlow, and Joe DeMott. Props also to Rob Herr and Shannon Grimmel Denmark, who are among the lawyers standing up to represent Harvard University, that Stanford wannabe of the East, as it stands up for academic freedom. Hurrah! And a special hurrah to Peter Koski, an alum here, and former Deputy Chief of the Justice Department's Public Integrity Section, who continues to stand up for his client, Jack Smith, in the face of an executive order that condemned Peter by name. Also, bravo to New Jersey AG Matt Platkin and California SG Mike Mongan, and the entire cohort of SLS alums in governments, firms, and nonprofits who are standing up for the least among us and for the rule of law. As for the lawyers who are bending the knee, I'm not going to mention them here today, but history will remember. Now, there are two short works that I've returned to repeatedly over the past year. C.S. Lewis's 1944 lecture, The Inner Ring, and Hannah Arendt's 1964 essay, Personal Responsibility Under Dictatorship. They each address the temptation for very bright people to enter organizations and lose their moral compass. Lewis suggests that the desire to be part of the inner circle is a powerful human emotion, and he warns that unless you take measures to prevent it, this desire is going to be one of the chief motives of your life from the first day on which you enter your profession until the day when you are too old to care. So start thinking now about how to avoid being drawn into doing things that are quite wrong out of a desire to fit in or be comfortable or feel yourself on the inside. Surround yourself with personal boards of directors who will hold you accountable and serve on each other's informal boards. Arendt is skeptical of people who argue that their staying inside at least prevents worse things from happening. For her, the weakness of this argument has always been that those who choose the lesser evil forget very quickly that they chose evil. What about the people who leave? They often leave, in Arendt's words, not because the world would inevitably then be changed for the better, but simply because only on this condition could they go on living with themselves at all. Or as the American pacifist A.J. Muste responded when a reporter asked him whether he really thought he would change U.S. policy by holding a solo candlelight vigil outside the White House. I don't do this to change the country. I do this so the country won't change me. Serving in the government is a wonderful opportunity. I did it, and I hope you'll all get the chance to as well. There's no sentence that made me prouder than getting to say in a federal courtroom, Pamela Karlan for the United States. I got to work with talented, committed, compassionate career civil servants to improve people's lives. But there can be risks in working for the government or for any institution. You may be asked to support policies or make arguments that can't be squared with the oath you took when you became a lawyer. If that happens, you need to do something again you did a lot when you were 2 years old. If you don't remember it, I'm sure your parents will. It's just say no, and then say, I won't. So I'm now tremendously proud of SLS graduates who've recently made that choice. Bonnie Robin Vergeer was the career chief of the Civil Rights Division's appellate section. Bert Russ was a career deputy chief in the division's voting section. Elisa Philo was a career division attorney. Brendan Ballow was a lawyer in the antitrust division who joined the DOJ team that prosecuted January 6th rioters. Each of them showed courage and integrity, both in doing their job and then in deciding to leave jobs they loved because they held themselves accountable to their oath. I hope we all will be equally courageous if we are similarly tested. In the meantime, I have a little present for each of you. Descartes declared, I think, therefore I am. Actually, he said cogito ergo sum, but I'm translating for those of you who are not pretentious. But for me, I feel more, I thank, and therefore I am happy, because expressing gratitude to others reminds me of how good it is to be alive. So, using my own funds, no law school funds were used in the making of this, I have bought you each a postcard, which is inside your programs, postage prepaid, and a Bic crystal pen, which is near your water bottle. Now, you're going to be sitting here for quite a while as everybody marches across the stage. And so what I want you to do while you're sitting here is to write a thank you note to someone, not to me, but to someone else, who maybe is here at Stanford, or someone far away, or someone in your past, someone you loved who made your life better because they loved you, or helped you, or inspired you, or made you laugh. I guarantee you'll both remember that postcard long after you forget anything I've said here today. And if you remember the person's address, I know like some of you don't have your phones on and you don't remember things like addresses anymore, but if you do remember their address, Holly's going to have baskets at the back and the law school will mail them for you, or you can take it home with you and mail it later. Now, most of the postcards I bought in bulk from the US Postal Service, but I bought 10 of the cards, and they're randomly scattered, so if you're one of the lucky winners, it's not you, it's just fortune. But I bought 10 of the cards at the FDR Memorial in Washington, which is one of the places that's most special to me. And that's the place where the idea for this talk came to me as I listened on my phone to Woody Guthrie's lovely song, Dear Mrs. Roosevelt, which he wrote after Franklin Roosevelt died. So to end our syzygy on a birthday note, I first learned about Franklin Roosevelt from my dad, who turned 100 3 days ago. You see why I worry about my TIA CREF now. We've done many lovely things together over the years, but one of my favorites was our father-daughter trip to Roosevelt's home in Hyde Park. My dad graduated from high school and joined the Army Air Corps the month Justice Jackson delivered the opinion in Barnett that I read from earlier. So like the narrator of Guthrie's song, he was a GI in the Army the day he passed away. Roosevelt, not my dad. My great ambition for you is that at the end of your careers, your corner of the world, and perhaps even the wider world, will sing as Guthrie did of Roosevelt, that this world was lucky to see him born. I know we were lucky to have you at Stanford. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Carlin. It's now my great privilege to present the degree candidates for the class of 2025. Will the candidates for the degree of Master of the Science of Law please stand and make your way up? Laizi Milena Barbosa. Bruria Chaya Friedman Feldman. Amelia Galan. Reynold Lagman Ursua. Shreya Singh. Chao Kai Young. Hai Yin Zhao. I will now present the candidates for the degree of Master of Laws, Corporate Governance and Practice. Kinza Ito. Amanda Almeida Muniz. Alexander Bloom Vigsel. Eduardo Comporato Ferreira de Sá. Radi Sondaria Nyanish. Yastaka Hosaka and friends. Yin Sun Lun. Ji Qin Liao. Andrea Mazzioni. Kate No. Louis Joseph Henry Norton. Soraya Pradhan. Daniela Riso Patron Pesquiera. Amanda Sanchez de Souza. Sushmita Som. Yapa Tape Kanjana. Sudebe Wahabzadeh. Hua Li Shi. Yu Shao. I will now present the candidates for the degree of Master of Laws, Environmental Law and Policy. Adil Oraki. Sunena Batnergish. Matias Calderon. Alejandro Covarrubia Chadwick. Bruno Garcia da Silva. Yi Shou Tsai. Jae Ho Kim and friends. Hei Young Lee. Junya Ohashi and friend. Raimundo Ruiz. Yay! Kentaro Sawata and friends. You can sit there. Valentina Sepulveda Paredes. Nishta Sinha. Sapavade Siri Lurkvipas. Geraldine Ugeto. I will now present the candidates for the degree of Master of Laws, International Economic Law, Business, and Policy. Giulia Ascoli. João Azambuja. Gretel Cannon and friend. Alice DeVinto. Yu Hui Huang. Bo Sung Jin and friend. Haley Kim and friend. Felicia Kamala. Win Xiao Yi. Ho Ting Adrian Mack. Melik Muhammad Danish. Hailing Ni. Paul Shearing. Isabella Kuntarei. Thomas von Pratt. Jyotsna Vilva. I will now present the candidates for the degree of Master of Laws, Law, Science, and Technology. Anna Lena Busa. Bruno Lorech Coea. Eduardo de los Heros Broeson. Shu Chi Dutta. Hannah Caroline Engrit Ingstrom. Ramiro Gandor Aguilar. Stanley Gao. Satoshi Hamada. Shin Koike. Yi Chong Liu. Grecia Macias. Jade McCory. Ruchira Naik. Julia Narusevich Strajinska and friend. Srija Rawit. Gabriela Rios Rios. Wolfgang Schultz. Carlos David Tamayo Cardenas. Barbara Amanda Vilela. Zhu Qing Yong. Jining Zhang. I will now present the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Jurisprudence. Salma Abdul Rahman. Tia Amari Anderson. Thomas C. Archibald. Sean Ramon Arietta Kinna. Jonathan R. Tall. Mashad Badi. Harry Bagenstos. Liam Boffman. Caroline Rose Bechtel and friends. Matthew Benjamin. Joseph Burke. Rebecca Leah Tabachnik Berman. Larissa Bursch. Maxwell Bassard. Cole Bloom. Kaylin Boston. Henry Ladislas Bradley. Gabrielle Jacqueline Braxton. Aiden Bryce. Riley Burton. Sophia Caldera. Sophie Carroll. David Carter. Alan Castillo Gonzalez. Delena Castillo. Camilla Victoria Chabaita. Kyan Shashakti. Kenneth Gregory Cheng. Stephanie Chen. Annabelle Castine Chosi. Marissa Rose Colon. Megan Frances Corcoran. Isaac Chi Sui. Alexandra Gail Kernan. Rowan Dereer. Catherine Holding DDA and Friends. Emma Claire Doherty. Lillian Dubé. Avi Duganapeti. Alexis Elizabeth Dye. Sarah Brett Eval. Chidira Eza. Jennifer Elise Farron. Stephen Anthony James Ferrulo. Scott Edwin Findley. Jacob Fisher. Hannah Fleischman. Christopher Edison Flores Blanco. Caroline Renee Frieders. Justin Gamboa. Catherine Garcia. Victoria Eloise Gardner. John Garrison. Jack Ryan Gleiberman. Zachary S. Goldman. Yanet Esmeralda Gomez. Danielle Doné Grazette. Brian Matthew Grenadier. Emily Clara Gross. Eva Gu. Ray Guo. David R. Haynes. Lauren Haumesser. Sydney Renee Holloway. Tian Yi Huang. Catherine Lynn Hughes. Yakira L. Hutchinson. Justin Iannacone. Adrian Javier Ito. Abehirema Izokun. Selena Emily Jackson. David Jaffe. Kelsey Ajin John. David Hong Yi Jiong. Asia Isabel Johnson. McKenna Ann Kohone. Vance Joseph Kelly. Harith Gwaja. Alexandra Kilroy. Hui Soo Kim. Min Yu Kim. Chloe Elizabeth Kimball. Sophia Kimball. Maya King. Corello Corol. Nicole Elise Kozlak. Anna Karitzkis. Kayla Lee. Shannon Lee. Signe Lee. Ashley Denise Leone. Jacqueline Ivy Luedis. Helena Lee. Sarah Ruitzi Lee. Daniel Lim. Angus William Livingstone. Lisa Liu. Mahmoud Mahmudov. Christopher Corey Marcus. Olivia Hope Martin. Catherine Carlisle McCreary. Isabel Julia Willis Mendiola. Caitlin Shoto Myler. Lane Miles. Joel Miller. David Aladdin Mollenkamp. Olivia Morello. Hannah Rose Motley Davis. Dorna Mariam Movasegi. Alana Catherine Olson Murphy. Andrew Thomas Nahom. Sassine Najar. Imani Ruth Nocurry. Harrison Nugent. Stephen O. Samuel Alexander Olson. Cameron Juliana Page. Samantha Livingston Coles Potter. Charles E. Power. Jarrett Purcell. Brendan Prinz McKinney. Catherine Mary Elzo Quinnis. Martine Rakovchek. Leo Rossier. Kate Reinmuth. Anastasia Marie Reisinger. Hector Reyes Figueroa. Erica Margaret Robison. Lauren Elizabeth Romanoli. Gabriela Amelia Romero. David Jesse Sachs. Rebecca Clara Sadak. Carmen Elena Santiago Erbauer. Rachel Stin. Luke Joseph Schumacher. Gregory D. Schwartz. Selena Scott Buchler. Spencer Aaron Siegel and Tiny Friend. Elliot Setzer. Nikta Shabazz. Molly Golda Shapiro. Michelle Sojung Shim. Jessica Shin. Haris Siddiqui. Paige Julia Singer. Amanpreet Alice Singh. Michael Allen Smallberg and friends. Carson Olivia James Smith. Gabriella Diane Smith. Ross Snyder. Elizabeth Bedont Spaeth. Hank Sparks. William Steary. Silva Stewart. Sophia Francesca Tabernia.
Let's do it.
Eli Solomon Tannenwald. Andrew Paul Thompson. David Andrew Toppelberg. Marissa Uri. Merritt Vike. Robert Victor Vogel. Garrett William Walker. Jordan James Walker. Kevin Kaiwin Wang. Kieran Watamwar. William David Waitman. Morgan Winland. Matthew Brian Wigler. Adam M. Williams. Aaron K. Williams. Sarah Molly Wishingrad. Victor Wu. Angela Shao. Alex Udelson. Henry Zheng. Stella Ziu Zhou. Rebecca Simone Zimmerman. Dean Triantis, assembled faculty, staff, and honored guests, I present to you the Stanford Law Class of 2025. Please join me in congratulating them.
So it's the tradition in the law school commencement for the dean to give a charge to the graduating class. And while it is my great honor to do so, I recognize that those who have spoken before me today have done so with much greater eloquence than I can achieve. When one looks back at the history of Stanford Law School since its founding 132 years ago, our students have graduated into many difficult eras and challenging times. We are now in a period where the toughest classroom hypotheticals have become real and vivid. Law and legal institutions are under a great deal of stress and examination. Robust legal institutions are the bedrock of democracy and the rule of law, and we, those educated in law and those who will join the legal profession, bear a particular responsibility to serve and support those institutions. To many across the country and the world, the uncertainty and the tumult are troubling and distressing. I expect, class of 2025, that many of your friends and family have already asked you this year for your informed views on profound and complex legal questions. Law and legal institutions are receiving greater attention than at any time in my lifetime. And even as law students, you have likely noticed how much your knowledge is sought and relied upon. And as you engage with these issues, knowledge and reason also gives you power, and it is your responsibility to use it for the betterment of our society. Speeches at occasions like commencement sometimes have drawn on the famous poem called Ithaca by the Greek poet in the early 20th century, C.P. Cavafy, who faced significant personal challenges in his life. The poem became better known in America when Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis asked that it be read at her funeral because of its emphasis on life's journey, experience, and the enduring nature of hope. Drawing on the story of Homer's Odyssey, Cavafy addressed the hazards and the grave risks that face each of us on our journeys. And he noted, "Don't be afraid of them, as long as you keep your thoughts raised high, and as long as a rare excitement stirs your spirit and body." Each of you, graduating students, has high aspirations to use your knowledge and your skills to serve our society, whether it's in the legal profession or otherwise. And as you keep your thoughts raised high, I encourage you also to keep the excitement of learning that you enjoyed and contributed to while here at Stanford Law School. As you have experienced, that excitement derives from an openness to new ideas, a charitable approach to other viewpoints, analytical rigor, and a capacity to work with others. In my welcoming remarks earlier, I thanked you. I thanked you for your efforts in strengthening our community at Stanford Law. A strong community provides a home base from which to learn and engage in the complex and rapidly changing environment that surrounds us. Law school gave you a unique time and place for discovery and discourse. It is your challenge, starting with tomorrow, to continue to find or make space to learn and grow as you move through the next chapters of your journey. Community also provides some shelter for rest and opportunities for joy. I have seen, and Carson Smith remarked earlier, that the class of 2025 has found much joy in interacting with and supporting each other. As you take the next big steps in your career, I encourage you to stay in touch with friends you have made here. In some cases, the friendships will grow and deepen, and in other cases, the twists and turns of your careers will bring you back in touch in years to come with some of your classmates. Indeed, as graduates, you will be members in a vibrant alumni network, joining other graduates who know what it means to meet at the Falcon, to have coffee in Crocker Garden, now coffee and pastries from Café Rouge, to participate in or watch the SLS musical with your classmates, to go through a tunnel of your peers after you complete the first quarter at the law school. And this year's class also knows the joys of SLS socials and the various gala events. I've had the privilege over the past year, my first year as dean, to speak with hundreds of alumni. And one thing I have learned is that I expect that you'll have occasions to look back fondly on your common experiences at Stanford. Lean on and into the connections, the community, and the networks you've built here at Stanford Law School and the university. Speaking on behalf of my faculty colleagues and the staff of Stanford Law School, we wish you all much excitement, joy, and fulfillment in your careers. This is a very exciting time for you, and we are confident that you will each contribute in big and small ways to improve the world we live in. We all look forward to watching the rise of your bright and shining stars, and we will be proud to know you as Stanford Law alumni. So congratulations to the class of 2025. And after the recession of our graduates, please join us in Crocker Garden as we continue to celebrate at our reception there. Thank you.